guys, this is Kari with Crochet Me Knots. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out and make sure your alerts are on so you can receive notifications when I upload new videos. On today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this crocheted I-cord face mask lanyard. So nowadays, especially kids having to go back to school, they need to wear their masks, and these lanyards are so simple to make, and they make life easier because you just clip them on the elastic, and if the kids take off their masks, they're wearing this around their neck and it's not going to fall on the floor. They're not going to have to hook it around their ear, so that way they keep it on them at all times. And you really just wear this. You can wear this with this on, and this is not uncomfortable. It's not going to get in the way. These lobster clasps are not heavy at all, so you can keep this on, and like I said, when you need a break from your mask, you can just pull it off and just let it hang around your neck, so that way it doesn't fall on the floor. Very simple to make. It's an I-cord. If you've never crocheted an I-cord, it takes a little bit of practice, but I made it hopefully a little easier. This length is about, let me see, so that way you get an idea. Let me measure it out for you. This is for an adult, so this I made for myself. And what's cute about this is that you can crochet this in the color of your ear saver. It's about 19.5, so you can make something like 20 inches. That would be probably good. If you're crocheting ear savers, you can probably crochet this in the same color to match it and have a little set. So there's an idea. I've been selling these in sets, and actually, you know, they've been doing pretty good. People need to keep these on them. So all we're going to need is, for this, I use, well, the thicker the yarn, you know, I'm using a medium weight, and I'm going to use this white for the tutorial so you could see it. We're going to need 2 of these lobster clasps. These are 16 by 30 millimeters, and you can find these at any craft store in the jewelry section. So that's where I got these, and they're very light, and they're a good size. You don't have to have them this big. You can have them smaller if you want, but that's what I could find. I didn't want the really teeny ones that you use for bracelets, because then that would kind of defeat the purpose. But this is a good size. It doesn't weigh very much. So, again, medium weight yarn. We're going to use a 5 millimeter hook, a pair of scissors, and I dropped my yarn needle somewhere, but we need a yarn needle to secure these at the end. All right, guys, so let's get all our stuff together and let's get started. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and leave a little bit of a tail so we can secure our lobster clasps at the end. So we're going to start with our slip knot. Now, if you're using a thinner yarn, which I don't recommend because then you would need to chain more. This I-cord I did with 2 chains. So the more chains you have, the thicker it's going to be. So you could do a 3 chain, or, you know, just do a 2 chain like I did. But if you're using a thinner, lighter weight yarn, you might need to do more chains. And if you've never made an I-cord, it's probably best that you start with a medium weight and do the 2 chain like I did, because it's the simplest. And I'll show you why it takes some practice. And I'm not the best at it yet. I've never had to make an I-cord, except for when I make pot holders. I like to make the little loops. Instead of just a chain, I like to make a little I-cord. So, okay, so we have our slip knot. We're going to chain 2. And we're going to insert our hook into that first chain, and we're going to pull up a loop. All right, so here's where it gets interesting. We're going to take that loop, that first loop, off the hook, and we're going to chain on our first loop, make a chain, then pop it back on the hook and chain that one. So we're going to chain each loop separately, and that's what shapes the round cord. It's not a flat chain. That would not be comfortable around the neck, so that's what shapes that 3D round cord. So that's why I mean it takes practice, because you have to keep popping off that first loop. Or if you made more chains, then you would have to go in through each chain at the beginning and pull up loops. So you would have more loops to pull off your hook. So that's why it's a little more complicated. If you're a pro at this, then go ahead and do however many loops you need. But if you're a beginner, I suggest you start with the 2 loop. So again, pull off the first loop, chain the first one, pop it back on, and chain that second one. And again, pop off that first loop, hold on to it, and chain the first loop, pop it back on, and chain the second one. As you see, that starts to make that 3D cord. So a little trick is I always like to keep my thread, my yarn on my finger, so that way when I slip it off, hold on to it. You already have that ready to chain. Chain the one, pop it back on, chain that one. So you chain each one separately. Never chain them together, because that would be like a single crochet. So again, pop it off, hold on to it, chain, pop it back on, chain it, pull it off, chain. Sometimes it's going to be a little loose, but that's okay. Chain. And there you go. So you have to keep going. After you practice a bit, it gets a little easier. And you can just keep going for the length that you need. And there you go. So that's basically the trick to the cord. And you're going to keep going for the length that you need. I might crochet just a few more inches. That way it's long enough to show you how to finish off the how to add the lobster clasps, but you're going to keep going. So pull off that first loop, hold on to it, single crochet the first one, pop it back on, and single crochet that one. Pop it off, single crochet, pop it back on, single crochet, chain. I'm so sorry. So you're just going to chain each loop separately. Alright guys, so keep going until you get your length. I'm going to crochet a few more inches, and then I'll be back to show you how to add the lobster clasps. Alright guys, so I crocheted a few more inches just to show you how to finish off the lobster clasp. So by now, if you kept going, then you should have the length that you want. So there you can see what it looks like. It's very pretty. It's rounded, so it's not flat. I thought of making this just a chain when this whole thing started with the lanyards and everything, but the chain, just a chain, is very uncomfortable around the neck. And this is very comfortable. It's elastic, so it does, you know, have some give, and it's rounded, so it's very soft. You really don't feel it. It's not heavy. And like I said, those clasps are not too heavy at all. Alright, so once you have your length, what we're going to do is just yarn over, and we're going to pull through both, and then just chain one, and we are going to cut, leave a little tail, and just pull tight. And we're going to get our yarn needle, and we need our clasps. Alright, so we're going to thread our needle and take our clasp, slide it in, and then just go through there. Do it one more time. There you go, and then you can just make a little knot. And then we can just hide on the inside of the cord. You can just hide it there. And you can come back down the other end to secure it a little better, and just come back down. Don't pull it too tight so you won't notice it. And there we go. And then just cut that. So there's one. And just make a knot. I've crocheted these in sets and people like that. They can wear their ear saver and the little cord matches the color. Especially nurses with their scrubs, they like to match their scrubs to their ear savers. And that's, so just hide your tail. And you can just come back down. And there you go. Oops. And just cut. And there it is. You have your, hey, this could be a little bracelet. And there you go. But that's what this is basically it. There you go. And now you can just take your mask and just clip these on the elastic and keep that mask on you at all times. And the kiddos can keep it on in school and not let it fall on the floor or lose it. That's very important because sometimes they come home with no mask. What happened to your mask? So they come back with a paper one. What happened to your Spider-Man? So there you go, guys. That's the little I-cord lanyard for your mask. I hope you liked the tutorial. Keep practicing with this. I know it takes a little bit to get it, but like I said, it's not too bad once you get it, and you can even add more loops if you need to make it thicker, but I think a 2-loop is perfectly fine for this project with the medium weight. Alright guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Check out the description box for links to my Instagram and eBay store. And please take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.